Okay, so this is the modified script. This was your sort of semi-task, if you like, for the last video if you wanted to do it. So it's just a matter of duplicating the first variable that was called flashlight and just renaming this one to enemy light. I've also made this one private, a light on. Since it's a boolean, we don't really need to change it in the inspector, so I've made it invisible in the inspector. So all the rest is same. All we've done is duplicated this first line and just changed it to enemy light. Duplicated this first line on this one and changed it to enemy light. Okay, nice and easy. So that now in Unity, obviously the flashlight script now has two slots, and obviously just drag the enemy spotlight into the second slot. So that now when you're playing through the game, press F to switch the light on, press F to switch the light off. Nice and easy. And when we get on to doing the graphical user interface and the inventory menu, we will work on a script that controls how much battery power is left in the light to make it more like a survival horror game. That's the kind of thing that you usually see in that. So what we're going to do now is add our character arms to this first person controller. So that's under player main, fuse and prefabs. Okay, so I'm just going to get a little bit closer to the character here. Okay, and I'm just going to click and drag this character in. All right, now it's only his arms that are actually rendered. So as you can see, just his arms. So to achieve that, it's under the textures. These textures have just been modified in Photoshop so that it only renders the arms parts. Okay, quite easy to do. You just basically cut out all the rest and make it transparent. Set the texture type to a sprite 2D, and under the materials, the material type is a cutout rendering mode. Alright, and this is what you come up with. So I now want to find this character wherever he's dropped into. Let's find him. There he is, player main arms, and I want to drag him onto the camera. Okay, so that he's now attached to the camera, and I'm going to move him into position. Now these X, Y and Z coordinates need to be exactly the same in order to ensure that all the animations are going to play correctly and that the arms are at the right position. So the X for the arms, and make sure that you are on player main arms to do this. The X is going to be 0.039. The Y is going to be minus 1.533. And the Z or Z axis is going to be 0.007. Rotation is going to be 0 on the X, minus 2.404 on the Y, and 0 on the Z or Z axis. The scale is going to be 1.3. As you can see, it pretty much is 1.3 on the Z axis and 1 on the Y. Okay, so our arms are now in the correct position, so that when we have a look through the game viewport, well, we can't see them yet because the arms have not yet come into view, but the arms should now be facing in the right direction of the camera. Okay, so what we're going to do next is place the weapons into the character's hand. We're only using the right hand so that all the weapons go into the right hand of the character. So to do that, we're going to open the player main arms, find the hips, let's open that, spine, spine 1, spine 2, right shoulder, right arm, right forearm, and then we have the right hand. So when we click that open, obviously we've got all the fingers and the thumb on there. Okay, so let's now find our weapons. So let's start with the baseball bat, since that's the one that I can see. This one's going to be assets and prefabs. Let's go with the PC one. So I think it's this one. So it's PC baseball bat 12. Okay, now let's just drag that into scene. and we need to drag this baseball bat from its current position onto the right hand. Okay, now I do have some coordinates to type in, so what I'm going to do is quickly set up all the weapons into the right hand, and then I will show you the coordinates so that you can then pause the video and type in their exact match to get them into the right position. Okay, so I've now put all of the weapons in place. So we have baseball bat, axe, knife and handgun. Okay, so the baseball bat we went through. Obviously then you need the horror axe in the prefabs, and it's the very first one that you're going to drag in. Then under the survival kit we have the knife prefab, and then finally in the Knockerbot modern guns we have the prefabs, and it's the active guns, and it's the silver one with the script attached to it. Okay, just ensure that all of those are parented to the right hand. So we already put in the baseball bat. These are the coordinates. So if you pause the video and then input those coordinates into your system. So if you want to pause it now. Okay, and then we'll move on to the axe. So these are the coordinates for the axe. Once again, pause the video and put in the coordinates so that it's in the exact position. So pause now. And then we move on to the knife. Okay, these are the coordinates for the knife. Once again, pause now. And then we move on to the handgun. Okay, these are the coordinates for the handgun, so if you want to pause. And for the handgun, just ensure that you switch off this script for now. Now we are going to be using this script, or at least we're going to be modifying this script, but don't have it on at the moment because it does fire some physical bullets into your scene, and the more you fire, it's going to slow down your scene until we fix this. Okay, so we've got all of our weapons now attached to our player's hands. So if we click the game now, we can actually see those weapons showing up in the window.